Ready?
Yeah, go
Here we.
Thank you. You guys are gonna mess up my jet ski. Hold up. This means so much to me. I stopped writing this movie about 20 times because I thought it was impossible. I thought it wasn't gonna work. I thought no one would ever make this movie. But I kept coming back to it because I knew if someone let me make this movie, that people would hear it and people would see it. So I want to dedicate this to all the people who raised my voice and let me make this movie. You guys, thank you so much. To the cast and crew, I love you. Thank you so much. My wife, who supported me through this whole process. My mother, who taught me to love even in the face of hate. And to everybody who went and saw this movie. Everybody who bought a ticket, who told somebody to buy a ticket. Thank you. I love you for shouting out at the theater, for shouting out at the screen. Let's keep going. Brian Roberts, thank you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Good night.
Welcome everybody to the Trailer Park. My name is Dave,
I'm the Mike.
and we are. It's the Oscars. Well, the Oscars are done.
Oscars post show.
Yes, the Oscars Part 2. If you missed us, we had an Oscars Part 1. We want to welcome possibly a Twitch audience, which is kind of cool. We're just,
Yes.
but we're just recording. We're
Just
having a good time. Just having a hang time. Wow, not good.
Special guest Boomer.
Hanging out behind the camera. That is taken from this year's Oscar when Jordan Peele won the best
weren't part enough.
screenplay, writing for the best screenplay for
Get
Get
Out.
Out. He brought up that jet ski. So for anybody who doesn't know, or for either of you guys who don't know,
I didn't know until you just told me now.
yes, Jimmy Kimmel offered a prize, and it was for the shortest Oscar speech. Got a jet ski, and I don't remember his name, but it was the best costume designer, the guy who won it, and they.
Yeah.
And they had him out on stage on the jet ski, like with a inflatable vest and all that kind of stuff. You can look up the picture; it's pretty
Yeah, it's
cool.
called a life jacket. They're not
What did I say?
inflatable.
Inflatable vest.
Inflatable vest.
I mean, those are the ones that
Listen,
you
you can
Jumping
get.
out of a crashing plane.
Actually, it's like one of the water wings.
Yeah.
Um,
You did order the soup.
yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the big ones. So the interesting thing about this, you said, I think, did you see any of the Oscar nominees for movies?
I
this
did
year?
not.
Which is sad.
It is,
But Nate, we saw about half of them.
Yeah, we saw quite a few of them.
Yeah.
More
But,
this year than like ever.
I've
yeah.
never really watched a lot of the Oscar movies because so many of them I've never found to be at Hurt Locker, for example, was one that was panned. Also, was great. It's also panned across the board the other way.
Yeah.
I've heard it's not as good as what a Best Picture should have been.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, I've always had heard that. It's like the Oscar movies are always the boring movies, but I also can't say that I've ever seen them all.
this slate of
saw
movies
The
seemed
Revenant.
way different than your average.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you basically had a creature feature, which was the one that
Yes.
ended up winning.
Yes.
You had Get Out, which was a horror movie, basically.
Yep.
What else? That
3 Billboards.
Three Billboards,
Which
seemed
was
like
a normal drama.
but also a comedy, kind of like a dramedy.
It had some, dark
Yeah.
comedy elements
Okay,
to
it
it.
had some dark comedy in there, but those three movies don't seem like those like period pieces.
Right.
Or,
The Post was built to be an Oscar movie.
and what else was the
which
other
is
one?
Kind of why it
Just
lost.
that one with that young actor in it.
Lady Bird.
Yeah, Lady Bird doesn't.
And this, what's it called? The Space Between Us? No. It's one with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That one.
Who was in Hostiles, by the way? We got to see him for that moment. Even though we talked about him so much,
Yeah.
I've never seen him in a movie.
Yes.
He was in Hostiles for like 5 minutes. But who won, and I'm super excited because he's one of my favorite directors, and that's Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water, which is a fantastic movie.
It's Best Picture and Best Director.
Yep.
Usually they go hand in hand. They rarely don't get them together.
And his speech was beautiful. It was about being a citizen of the world, about how he's from Mexico, but he's lived in so many countries, lived in America. He obviously put down that he's an immigrant and all that kind of stuff. It was really, really good.
And we found out, I think you found out, you mentioned it today, someone that we work with who's also from
Yeah.
Mexico. Or they're from the same exact little town there.
Didn't know who this person was, and we said Guillermo del Toro, and she said it sounds like the name, and she looked him up and said, "Oh, he's from my town," which is kind of
I was
awesome.
like, that's pretty awesome.
So great congratulations to Shape of Water, especially for the type of movies that he makes. He does make his
Okay.
He makes the movies that he wants to make, which is always good. He's
Yeah.
turned down so many sequels and so many franchise movies. He left The Hobbit,
He did.
starting production. Pacific Rim 2 didn't end up coming out. He had movies for Disney, and he leaves them when he can't control the project.
Yeah.
And when he can, it's a beautiful process.
I think it's fine, for example, like not to have him on The Hobbit. Leave that in the hands of Peter Jackson still.
It's true. Who are very similar guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just real quick, something about The Hobbit. There's a prevailing fan theory is maybe the movies weren't so good because this is Bilbo's retelling of the story, who's not a storyteller by nature. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's a good one. I like it.
it's an excuse, really, but
He used a lot of CG in his book. It was really crazy.
he had to. He had the technology.
Right. But a big, awesome congratulations to Guillermo del
Yes,
Toro.
indeed.
And
I do
his
like him as
body
well.
of work. You get that a lot. So you get like
He's made a lot of movies I think that could have deserved these nods for a
absolutely.
while.
I mean,
What's that one? Pan's Labyrinth alone is just beautiful.
Leo DiCaprio won for Revenant, which was a dumb movie. I'm sorry. I don't
He
like
got
that movie.
awarded for his career.
But he got
there.
awarded for his career, and I think that this happened twice so far in this Oscars. We'll talk about the other guy a little later. But it was. I'm glad that it happened for also a movie that was really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Best actor, Gary Oldman,
Not a surprise,
one of
really.
the best actors.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't see
That
movie,
but that
though.
was so stacked, that category. It was Tom
was.
Hanks was in there.
Tom Hanks. Was Tom
No,
Hanks in there?
I think that was Golden Globe.
He was in there for Golden Globes.
Oh, I want to say that was still a pretty
But I think
stacked
Denzel
Oscars.
was still in there.
Exactly. You got there was such a and I think Timothy Chalamet. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you'll get it at some point,
And
little
that-
man. But
man, I still can't remember the name of that movie, but they said that movie was one of the greatest.
wasn't
things I've
Daniel
watched.
Kaluuya also up for Best
Yeah.
Actor?
Yeah. But I mean, he talked about how, somebody Honest Trailers made it for the Oscar movies, and they're like, you remember seeing Dunkirk with its action and horrifying sounds and depiction of battle? Well, guess what? All the talking was that was happening while that was going on.
That would be the
Yeah. But I mean, it's a good portrayal. That's the second Churchill movie. No, it's not. It was. I'm thinking of The Crown, where
Yeah.
John Lithgow was.
You mean Winston? I love war so much that they won't let me get back in power, Churchill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to stay in war.
Yeah.
If it was up to him, apparently he would have invaded Russia.
Interesting.
He loved war,
Hey,
and you make money. You make a lot of money during war.
do what you love, and
Yeah.
the money will come.
It would have.
But the better category there was the actress. Frances McDormand won her second Academy Award. The first was
Fargo?
for Fargo.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And this was for 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, which I thought she was amazing in. Did you think I mean, you didn't like the movie, but
I had problems with the story of the movie.
Yeah.
All of the acting in that movie was fantastic.
exactly. All right, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But she gave a very poignant speech. She said that her last 2 words, she said, I'm going to leave you with 2 words, inclusion rider, and then just walked off the stage, which was just amazing. She had every woman in every category stand up. We used Jordan Peele's speech, but I was going to use hers, except it was way too long. Yeah. Especially for the minute. It was like 3 minutes long, but
Speaking of Jordan Peele, I showed you that picture. It was Key
yeah.
at like some sort of, it looks like some party or something. He's he as soon as they announce it, he's jumping in the air cheering, sitting next to Colin Hanks, and he's also cheering. I'm like, yeah,
Hey, what's up,
Key
Colin
and Colin Hanks just hanging out at an Oscar party. No
So that-
big deal.
That will take us right into our best writer or best original screenplay, which was
Jordan
Get
Peele.
Out. Jordan Peele.
That was so good. Though.
it was.
I really wish that movie could have won the like some other awards.
It's true, but it won the right award because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
writing was just
That
so.
was what.
That's what did it.
I wish there was a movie for like best atmosphere because you definitely. Well, I mean that movie was all atmosphere.
Just whole feel.
It was that movie makes you feel so uneasy,
And the Academy Award,
especially when you
for best
find out.
vibe.
Especially when you find out what's really going on, you feel like you just felt dirty almost. Like it's such an uneasy feeling in a movie like that.
Call Me by Your Name is the
Call
name
Me
of
by
that
Your
movie.
Name.
Thank you, Nate. This is why he's
I
producing.
have to call you by my name.
And I have this sheet of paper that's
weird.
nonsense. But he was actually the first African American to win that award, which is a pretty intense thing
Yes.
and a kind of a upsetting thing a little bit.
I would say it's one of those. I'm
At
not
this-
surprised that
at
this
this
has taken
point, I'm
this
like,
long for that to
jeez.
happen. Because there's been plenty.
Some of those firsts you think we would have broken already, but
Really? When the
guess.
Academy was, did you look at the makeup of the Academy? I mean,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then
definitely
finally,
not that.
on a little happier note, well, it's all a happy note. Coco won for Best Animated Feature.
It did.
narrowly beating Boss Baby.
Which is getting a Netflix
It
series.
is getting a Netflix.
Well, they
series.
love DreamWorks does a lot of Netflix work.
See, you have a 3-year-old though.
Have you listened to it or?
No.
Oh my
Did you have to see Boss Baby at least though, or no?
I've seen Boss Baby
Yeah.
plenty of times. But I've
Plenty
also,
of times?
I've also watched the trailer for the Netflix series, and it
No.
doesn't sound.
What's plenty of times?
Bloody.
She really, the little one really loves it that much, or do you?
She stops talking.
Now I'm learning what parenting is going to be. If you
Yeah.
can keep them quiet when you need to keep them quiet, you do what you need to do.
The movie also won for Best Original Song, which was "Remember Me."
I still haven't seen Coco.
Oh, you need to see that movie. Did you see Coco?
I haven't seen any movies.
Nate's looking up Boss Baby pictures.
Yeah, just to visually see that Academy Award
Yeah,
nominated.
Academy Award nominee.
That's
Boss
forever going to
Baby.
be on the box of Boss Baby.
It has to now.
You
You're-
talked
Yep.
about that. You said I want to buy that just because.
Just because it's going to say Academy Award nominee
frame it.
Boss Baby.
And so the other guy who won, I believe, for his body of work, but was also very good in a movie, Sam Rockwell.
Sam, I love
has
Sam
done
Rockwell.
amazing work. He's been in so many movies. Not only like, he's been in some ridiculous movies.
Can you name one of the more ridiculous movies he's in?
Iron Man 2, I don't know.
No, not counting recent. I'm talking go back.
No.
The original Teenage Mutant Ninja
Oh,
Turtles.
yeah?
He is one of the foot kids, and he's selling cigarettes to people, and it's Sam freaking Rockwell.
Is that like Bill Pullman in the original Terminator was just the random guy with a mohawk?
Yes.
Bill Paxton. Sorry, not Bill
They're
Pullman.
same difference.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right. But
Game over, man.
his character was so good, and he. I mean, there's sometimes where he plays Sam Rockwell, obviously, but it was just amazing, this performance, and I'm glad that he won. He thanks like everybody he's ever worked with too. Nice.
You got you got two cartons of cigs to sell.
And then for best supporting actress, my girl Allison Janney, she won.
She did.
First Oscar nomination, first Oscar win.
That happens.
Yep.
But she's
She thanked-
very good,
She
though.
thanked the bird.
The bird?
So there's a whole thing that Tanya Harding's mom has a pet bird that just like sits on her shoulder. And,
Yeah.
like, keeps messing with her throughout her whole interview. And so Allison Janney had a bird on her shoulder that
All
she
right.
just kept doing with. And she said that bird made me better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her speech was really good. It was just really broken up. She walked up and just said, "I did it all myself," and then everybody laughed, and then she thanked everybody. But multi-Emmy winning
Oh, yeah, for
not only West Wing but a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it's exciting that she won.
yeah.
I feel like this is
I know you're a huge fan of
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of all of these people. It was
Yeah.
It was a really great year for Oscars. If you're a
even
film
more
fan-
history was made.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant,
Kobe Bryant won for Dear Basketball, an animated short.
which was based on the letter he wrote when he was retiring.
Yep.
That's what it's based on. But he's the first NBA MVP
Yep.
and Oscar winner.
Yep.
And Kevin on The Office just won a bunch of money. Those of you who have ever watched The Office.
Yep.
'Cause he talks
Although, who is it actually on the Office? Because that's not actually
Oh,
who he
that's
says
right.
on the Office.
I don't remember.
It's like a country music singer or something.
I don't remember, but you're right. It's,
Yeah, it's not really Kobe. They just put that in there as a joke. Now, all right,
I got it.
all right.
Sean's on it. Yeah, what I gotta say, I mean, everybody who should have won. There are plenty of other people in those categories that could have won too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Denzel,
Well, like I
Margot
said-
Robbie, Saoirse Ronan.
They were all they were very stacked this year, and everyone would have been just as deserving as the next.
Absolutely. So it went very, very well.
Wasn't Woody Harrelson also up for Best Supporting Actor? Or was that just
so.
a golden?
I believe that Three Billboards.
So both, yeah, they got a lot of people.
And he was
Which,
very
but you
good.
guys,
was.
you even said you didn't care for the movie as much,
Yeah.
but everyone was performing.
He was excellent. He wasn't in a whole lot of the movie, which might have hurt him, but
Hold on, I want to make sure before I say it.
Well, I'm gonna grab the next thing while you think that up. One absent person
from
from
everything.
from the ceremony. I didn't see any pictures from the after parties. Really haven't seen any pictures of this guy for a little while. It's Mr. James Franco.
James Franco.
Not only that, the disaster artist for any category.
Yeah, they got nothing.
Nope. So, I mean, whether or not, I mean, and we always had this debate that the Disaster Artist was very good, and he was very good in it. Overall, it was kind of just a 2-hour-long comedy thing of watching The Room.
It looks like it's a good homage to to one of the best, worst movies that have ever been.
It is. So think of Tommy Wiseau, man. Yeah. He was gonna be so high this year.
Yeah.
John Mellencamp.
John Mellencamp.
If John Mellencamp ever wins an Oscar.
John Cougar Mellencamp, or
Yeah, I feel like if there was an Oscar for best impersonation,
yeah,
like that's what he did.
Best adapted performance.
Yes,
there you go.
He did a fantastic impersonation of him, but that was about it.
So, and then the final thing, of course, everybody sits there and says, well, "What about all of the superhero movies and all of the nerdy movies?" Which, historically get snubbed as a genre.
Yeah.
And for the most part, a lot of those are franchise movies anyways.
And I don't honestly think there's ever been a movie that should ever been up there for that.
For the top end categories.
Yes.
But where we usually shine, and I say we, because that's what we're doing here. Where we usually shine is in the visual effects and
sound effects, a lot of times costuming.
And there was none of that.
No,
I remember there were Wonder Woman was.
Visual effects went to Blade Runner, and I know that movie probably looked amazing.
Cinematography also went to Blade Runner.
Oh, went to a nerdy movie.
Yeah,
that looks like
a bad one. A bad nerdy movie.
That's a bad movie. Blade Runner looks like a movie for good cinematography because
that's all it was.
Exactly,
that's all it was.
This is my show, so I'm not going to get involved. But
that's why Ang Lee used to win those all the time because he shot a beautiful film.
Some of them were dumb.
Oh yeah.
Some of them
Brokeback Mountain won a lot of awards, but it was a beautifully shot movie. It really wasn't that good, but it was a beautifully shot movie.
But yeah, nothing for us.
I really expected VFX to go to either Star Wars or Guardians, honestly.
I don't know about Guardians. I would say Thor over Guardians.
Thor wasn't even up for it, though.
No. Was Guardians up for it?
Yeah, Guardians 2 was up for it.
Yeah, then Guardians. And then...
Last Jedi was up for it as well.
Yeah.
Did John Williams even win anything this year?
Last Jedi is good. No, Andre Desplat.
It's not... That's not a bad person to lose to. That guy can make some good music.
And the music.
And John Williams, it's not like he's never won. It's not like, John Williams gets snubbed again. It's John Williams.
He is the most nominated now?
Most nominated ever.
Yeah.
Do you see that he's donating all of his score, or a bunch of his stuff to Juilliard?
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. But in any case, that was the Oscars. It was a nice show. There was a lot of socially active stuff. I did like a lot of somewhat supporting articles for Jimmy Kimmel, who has very much turned his public appearance kind of on its head from starting as the Man Show.
He's highly politicized now.
And I think that he's done well. So I know that there were a lot of people that were posting about like, in all of this climate, you're going to have this guy do it, but he did such a good job, and he's done a very good job of.
Oh, one last note. Did you know that they made the print on all the envelopes inside like massive, so there was no more Moonlight screw ups?
There was a joke. There was one of those jokes.
Of course, but I looked. They were like this big. Yeah. Like there was no way to screw that up unless you were not reading it.
I don't know if this happens every year, but they had the Oscars. So we were seeing Death Wish.
Yeah.
The Oscars happening. I watched everything later. But I was following Twitter to find out, what was going on. And if you follow the Academy's Twitter, they apparently had like a camera in some room that was like tweeting out little 15-second videos and like of people just wandering by, like Kumail Nanjiani wanders by, Tiffany Haddish wanders by, and Viola Davis comes out. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
That is pretty awesome.
Yep. So they were all doing little weird things on the camera. So that was kind of cool. So if you want to review all of the winners, obviously you can Google that at all. But if you go to the Academy's Twitter, they have it built pretty well for that. And that's about it for the Oscars. Nobody's talking? That's all right. We'll move on to trailers. So every week at the trailer park, we do some trailer breakdowns.
That's
Mike usually starts, but this week we're gonna go ahead and get to that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again.
Go ahead.
We're gonna buck the trend and have me start again.
Yep.
I just right before, because that's kind of the way to do it, is I just search real quick, and one of the things that popped up was a picture of Nick Cage's face, and then it said the Humanity Bureau, and I had to watch it, and it was about as bad as you'd anticipate this movie. It's super loud, basically a sci-fi thriller. It looks like it's about a bureau that's set in the future. That, and because I kind of had to look it up a little bit because you really don't know what's going on, even from watching a trailer. It's like a special bureau the government has in place to basically deport people who are unproductive members of society to this place called New Eden. And it looks like the crux of the story is that New Eden isn't exactly a place that's good. It sounds like they're probably killing the people, or it's like they don't really show it. I'm sure that's the mystery behind the film, and it's the whole government agent rebels against the agency he's part of, even though he's probably the best person they had. Blah 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 blah. Long story short, it's an hour and a half of Nick Cage at age 60 or whatever he's at, still kicking butt.
Yep.
And this comes out actually.
The music for that. So I didn't watch this trailer.
Oh,
but
it was epic.
I was listening to it, and it was just so intense.
Boom, boom, and all that. Yeah, it comes out April 6th, so it's coming out soon. Nate won't be around to celebrate it for his own birthday party, but apparently he'll be in Hawaii or something stupid. I'm cool. Yeah, exactly. Other neat thing is the guy who directed it is actually from Saginaw, Michigan.
Interesting.
Yeah, right up right north there.
In Saginaw land.
Sag nasty.
Do people know where you're from?
Where we're from.
Yes.
We're based out of Detroit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If people don't know, that's stupid. By the way, we're from Michigan.
We have talked about that before, but if you didn't know,
We're from Michigan.
We're in
Sean
Detroit
pointed
now.
out how stupid that would sound, and he's correct.
They're from Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
They might know what Saginaw,
up
Michigan
in Saginaw, Michigan.
I've heard of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I've never even been there.
Well, what if they think we're from Sheboygan? Why
There's
is
Sheboygan,
Hey, that's
Michigan.
cool. We got nothing against Sheboygan.
we have a
We're-
Sheboygan,
why is
Michigan.
Saginaw pertinent information?
Because Sag nasty. I mean, if we said Flint, everyone would know what that
That's
meant.
true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in a different direction,
Usually, you
as
do.
I often do. Submergence. So I generally for this I will go to the Movie Trailers YouTube channel, which just basically just posts every trailer
Yeah.
that comes out of everything.
I do as well.
And I was about to click on like the Winnie the Pooh or the Mary the Poppins trailer, which we'll talk about.
Did you say Mary the Poppins?
I think I did.
Winnie the Pooh, Mary the Poppins. I like that though.
Frodo the Baggins.
Sean,
And
the Boom Squad.
and I was about to click on one of those and say I'm going to do Christopher Robin when I saw Alicia Vikander's face, and I just had to click on that because I love her.
I mean, fan of the show.
Fan of the show,
Vikander?
Alicia Vikander. If you're out there, now we're on Twitch. She probably watches. We're on Twitch.
Oh, I'm
now.
sure she'd watch it.
Yeah.
And what's her name? The other big fan of the show.
Oh, I don't remember.
Haley?
Haley, yep. Haley Bennett.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was in every movie for an entire year. But anyway,
was.
Submergence, Alicia Vikander and James McAvoy. It's a really interesting trailer. So it starts off as like a traditional like love story. She is some kind of deep sea scientist. He is something to do, I'm guessing, with CIA or covert something. And it starts off as a normal thing, and then they split off and do their own stuff. But he gets captured by insurgents or rebels or whatever the actual thing is, and she has a problem deep undersea where her thing is going, her tank is going out, and they're both finding out about what's happening. They're kind of stuck, and it's this idea that they're connected
By love.
by love. But it looks good, and those are two great actors.
They're very good actors.
and I think that that's enough to carry what could be a sappier premise.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this movie, Submergence. I don't know when it's coming out because I didn't look it up. Sorry. And finally, I thought that said burrito.
No. It
Nope.
says
It says
D'Onofrio.
We have a movie review. So instead of watching I got distracted. It's just like a cat.
There's a laser pointer
There's a laser
in the
pointer
studio.
distracted. So just instead of watching the Oscars, we went and saw Death Wish.
We did. And Submergence is April 13th.
April 13th.
Oh, so
So
you
the
can
week
see,
after
You can
his.
see that.
I say we can see the Humanity Bureau on the 6th, and a week later,
There you go.
There's your movie sets, guys,
Yeah,
for a
all
while.
right.
Similar movies.
If it's warm enough, we do a double feature at the drive-in.
I mean, sounds like a great use of funds there.
So this was Death Wish, a remake of a 1976.
1974, Charles Bronson, 5-part movie series.
And I did not
Went
know
into
what
the
this was
90s.
about.
Yeah, they did
It was
go
a-
for a while.
It was a almost 20-year long run.
But Bruce Willis stars as
Yep.
Charles Bronson's character. I don't
Yep.
remember the actual guy's name.
I don't remember either.
either.
He's
Does
a
it keep the
surgeon
same
in this.
name?
Bronson was an architect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he lost, I think, his whole family in the original, right?
Yeah, and his it was a little bit more graphic of his daughter getting raped and things like that.
The director's Eli Roth, so.
In the original.
In the original.
Oh, the
not this
original?
one, no.
Yeah,
Oh.
this one, I mean, they make a pass at her.
Yeah.
1974 had a little different things going on.
But yeah, it was definitely a different world. Actually, kind of surprising that they would make. This is a pretty controversial movie to make right now at this point in time in the world. When things like gun violence and gun rights are such a big thing, which they
that's
generally
why they pushed
are.
The Punisher the first season back a little
Yeah.
bit because it was going to launch, and right as it happened I think it was the Vegas shooting.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we should probably, and it was that's a really smart move. Delay it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Let that part of it die
Yeah.
out a bit, and then
And the whole movie is broken up by clips of satellite radio.
Which
with
I won't
Sway.
lie- which I won't lie, inspired this.
Yeah.
Because we were watching that, and I swear, like, every 10 minutes they cut to Sirius XM talking about the
Yeah.
vigilante. In
I think a lot of
Chicago.
them were in Detroit. Was a serious Detroit
Oh.
channel because they had the old English D in their
Yeah.
logo. I
I
don't
know,
know.
yeah,
I know
I'm
one
like,
of them was
they always-
Sway, and I think he's based out of New York.
Okay, but and them debating because that is a big part of the movie, and the movie shows it right in your face, that debate between is he a vigilante or is he a villain?
Yeah, well, it's kind
I
of
mean, a
that's
good
the
guy,
whole-
bad guy, yeah.
That's one of the big cruxes in Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
Are they actually doing a good thing, or are they? They're always criminals. You're still breaking the
Yeah.
law, but is it for a good reason?
Yeah, and that's
Punisher is the exact same.
Dexter is a huge movie, kind of based on
Character. Dexter
that.
only kills bad people.
Yep.
And I feel like it didn't, you talked about the gun violence and stuff like that. It didn't take a stand either way.
No.
It showed it as a complicated issue.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really about the guns.
No.
Weren't really a big part of it. I mean, he ends up getting a gun because somebody drops it in the operating room.
What?
And he eventually does go get one legally, and they do kind of make a point of her kind of saying how easy it is. But yeah, it's not so much about the guns; it's about him just getting his vengeance.
Yeah.
And when he's done, he's done.
Yeah.
He walks away
Well, until he's needed again.
until Death Wish 2.
Yeah.
But
Now I will say what
Death
was,
Wish 2, wishful thinking. What are we
apparently,
gonna call it?
by Death Wish 5, Charles Bronson got a rocket launcher, so we have
Nice.
that to look forward to.
He got. I mean, you really saw Charles Bronson age over the 26 years or whatever it took to make all those movies.
Yep.
Or 16 years, whatever, almost a decade.
Yeah.
2 decades.
2 decades. Yeah.
What was exciting for me that playing his brother was Vincent D'Onofrio, who I love.
Yep.
And actually, to me, Bruce Willis was a little bit stilted in this movie. I didn't think he had the strongest performance.
Yeah, I
mean,
thought
when
he
he
was
was doing action stuff, he was great because that's what Bruce Willis
Yeah,
does.
I liked him. And at the very beginning, when he was just a happy family man,
Till
I
he
liked
was pushed.
watching him, but be happy and just smile and kind of happy-go-lucky. I was like, wow, I don't get to see Bruce Willis just be like,
That's Bruce Willis'
A
son.
normal dude.
just be like a normal guy with a good life and everything's going his way. And of course, you feel uncomfortable because you know like what's about to happen. You're like, oh man, it's getting bad.
It's always that kind of feeling with those movies. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know the bad stuff's coming.
Only one really ridiculous scene. Like I feel like a lot of
Don't they kill a
it
guy by
was
dropping a car on him?
realistic.
Yes.
Yeah, but even that was kind of like it was realistic. The only really ridiculous scene was the bowling ball.
Yeah.
He's like about to get shot, everything, but the guy had accidentally knocked over a case, and the bowling ball rolls and just bops the guy right on the head and knocks him out. It was the only time we were
Yeah.
like, oh,
like almost a Laurel and Hardy
Yep.
sight jet. It's,
Yeah.
physical comedy there.
yeah. But it was exactly what I was expecting.
See, it was not what I don't
Really?
know what I was expecting, but I liked it better than.
No, that's good.
I'm sorry. But I liked it better than I thought I was going to. I was. thought I was
Boomer,
going
you're our
into
favorite.
A dumb action movie,
Uh-huh.
and it actually was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I thought there were some really good, intense moments. There were moments where I was worried about him.
Yeah.
There was all that kind of stuff. So it was really good. It kept you on edge. It balanced. There were moments where you're going, "That's so cool how he just killed that guy," and there's moments where you're like looking at him and his daughter, and you're like, it's wrenching. So they balance that.
Yeah,
very
you
well, I
did
thought.
definitely feel for the characters.
Have
for
either
sure.
of you guys seen Hostel?
Yeah.
Because Eli Roth, same director.
Yeah.
The way you're mentioning it is you go into Hostel thinking, okay, it's going to be that torture porn they call it, and where it is very graphic, but it's also very much like there's parts where as they're escaping everything, he wants to rescue more people and he can't.
Yeah.
He's able to rescue like one person. She ends up throwing herself in front of a train. All this kind of like he goes out of his way to rescue these people and they all end up dying anyways. It's like there's no happy endings in that
Yeah.
movie. The bad guys win at the end of Hostel.
Yeah.
Literally, they do.
No.
But in any case, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the cops.
Yeah. Well, it's the guy from Breaking Bad and Under
He's-
the Dome.
Yeah. I'll say he's been in a lot of stuff.
West-
He
yeah.
is a cop. I mean,
don't
he is
remember.
a TV and
Do you
movie
remember-
cop.
You know who I'm talking about?
No,
Did you
I-
watch any Breaking Bad?
No, I know. It's the
was
guy.
the
His name is
DEA.
his name is Hank.
Maybe.
Yeah,
He was the DEA.
the uncle.
Yeah.
Hank. Yeah, on the show on Breaking Bad, he was named Hank.
I can't remember
that
that
actor
actor's
always
Yeah.
plays a cop.
But I feel
He's
like
good at it, though.
the cops in that movie had the right balance of caring, but also that realistic. They only have so much that they,
They
can
were
do.
very realistic police.
Yeah, they wanted to do more, but they also knew that they had all of this to take care of, and there was only so much they could do.
Yeah.
Dean Norris.
Dean Norris.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
But anyway, that was just another aspect I
Yeah,
really
for sure.
liked about
It's
it.
funny because that movie I think got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes with an 85% user score.
Yeah,
you
that's
want
how-
to talk about a straight split between
Yeah.
people and critics
Yep.
on that one. I'd give it probably around the 50-60.
Yeah, I mean, it's one I would say. Yeah, you should watch that.
Yeah.
You don't
Maybe you can rent
have
it.
to run out to the
Maybe
movie
it's a
theater.
good rental movie.
But yeah,
A
absolutely.
little violent, so if you're not into that, but
Yep.
you know. In any case, thanks everybody for joining us. This has been the Trailer Park. My name is Dave, and you can find me at Twitter at thealien512.
My name is The Mike, and you can find me at Twitter at WSTheMikeSpeaks.
I want to thank everybody who may have joined us on our Twitch this week. I think that worked out pretty successfully, I think, as far as the stream went.
Yeah.
So we'll probably end up doing that. So that's every Wednesday night around 5:30 to 6 o'clock. I can't give you a specific on that one, but
work
check out
exists.
But if you want to know exact, you can always follow Trailer Park on Twitter at Trailer Park Cast. Everything of WampaSlayer.com is at Twitter. Nope.
No, at Wampa Media.
At Wampa Media on Twitter. If you would like to keep up with all of us when we stream on Twitch, that's twitch.tv/communities/WampaSlayer. Facebook.com/WampaSlayers is where everything is. I think that's enough links.
Yes.
Hopefully everybody wrote all of that down because that was way too much. I'm sorry. In any case, you guys have yourself a great week at the movies. We'll see you next time.